All right, here's a good question that helps you determine uh, an equation of a line. And that's what we're looking for, is to determine the equation of the line that these characteristics define. So first off, it says find a linear function. So I have to find something y equals mx plus b. Being that it's a function, they probably want f of x is equal to mx plus b. Given that f of 5 equals 1 and f of minus 5 equals minus 3. And then they say find what the value of the function is when x is equal to 0. One of these things with functional notation that is a little funny is that this is a statement that's true. Every time you see an f of x, that whole thing is equal to y. Just like here, I sort of replace them interchangeably. But that can also help us determine some things. Like here they have basically the exact same thing. F of minus 5, the value of the function when you plug a 5 in for x, is equal to 1. So if I'm looking at this and this, I can match that up. So this thing here would be an x value, and this one here would be a y value. So in giving me this piece of information, they're basically giving me a point where the x value is 5, y value is 1. Then they also say f of minus 5 is minus 3. So there they're giving us another point, minus 5, minus 3. Now that I have 2 points, I can use those things we did in class to determine the slope, because we need the slope, and to determine the y-intercept, we need the y-intercept. Let's do that. I'm just going to use the slope formula, m equals, and then let's make this x1 and y1, make this x2 and y2, and then we'll plug them in. So formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, there's a minus in there, equals, okay, y2 is a minus 3, minus y1 is a 1, over x2 is a minus 5, and x1 is a 5. All right, so if I do that, minus 3 minus 1 is a minus 4. Minus 5 minus 5 is a minus 10. So if I simplify, they'll become positive. Divide both top and bottom by 2. My slope will be 2/5. Now, so I have the slope part. Now I need to find the y-intercept. So the y-intercept, I can use this formula. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And I know, I don't plug anything in for y, but I know y1, that would be a y value from either of these points. Since this is y, I would use that one. So I would know this. I know the slope, I just found that out. I know I don't plug anything for x. x1 is a 5, so I know that. And I would just simply plug those things in and determine what the equation was. Or you can just plug the pieces of information you know, like the slope and an x and a y value, into this equation, y equals mx plus b. A y value is 1, slope is 2/5, x is 5, plus b you don't know. Now I know everything in the equation except for b. I can solve for b. So 2/5 times 5 is 2. So 1 is equal to 2 plus b. Subtract 2 on both sides, and I come up with b is equal to a minus 1. So now I have a slope. This is a slope. And I have a y-intercept. So I can write my equation. Y equals mx plus b. So y equals the slope, that's 2/5. X plus the y-intercept minus 1. I could have just written minus 1 there. Now, so now I have my equation, and that was the first part of the question, was to say find a linear function or an equation. But then they also say what is f of 0? In other words, what is the value of the function when x is 0? So here, y, remember y, f of x, and y are the same thing. So I can replace that y with an f of x. So really, this here would be called the equation of the line. And this one, f of x equals 2/5 x plus a negative 1, this would be the same equation written in functional notation. So if they say what is f of 0, they're saying everywhere you see an x in the equation, put a 0 in for that. Okay, so there's an x, f of 0 equals 2/5 times x is 0 again, plus a negative 1. Anything times 0 is 0. 0 plus a negative 1 is going to be a negative 1, equals f of 0. So the value of the function when you plug a 0 in for x is equal to negative 1. If I wanted to plot that, x is 0, here's 0 for x, and negative 1 would be right there. Interestingly enough, in this particular question, this is the y-axis, and that's actually the point where it crosses the y-axis. So this here, that's the answer to this question, but it's also what your y-intercept is. And that's true if I go f of 0, the answer to this is always going to give me the y-intercept. Okay, hopefully that helps you with that question.